Hey everybody, and welcome to another at-home mobility session. This one is specifically targeting the I've been sitting down too long sort of thing. So a lot of us are working from home or are driving and having to spend a lot of time sitting down. And when we spend a extended period of time sitting down, we tend to get quite tight across our lower back, our glutes, our hamstrings, and our hip flexors. So this video today is going to be a little bit different to our normal ones. We're going to target all of those areas which get quite tight, and it's going to be a little bit dynamic. So a few of our positions aren't going to be static, so holding in position. A few of our positions are going to be working through a range of motion actively. Okay, let's get stuck in. So we're going to start off first of all with a left side hip flexor stretch, but in this position we are actually going to be going forwards and backwards. This is going to target first of all our hip flexors, and then we're going to go backwards and forwards, targeting our hamstrings and our calves on the opposite side, as well as our lower back as we reach forward. Okay, so we're going to perform 15 of these on each side, and my hope for this is that this is the sort of stuff you can do in between long sessions sitting down, whether that's because of studying or working at your desk or whatever. This sort of stuff I want you guys to do for a few minutes in between those long seated sessions. Let's get stuck in. So 15, coming forward and back. At the end of our 15, we're going to hold it for a couple of seconds. You might find that these are going to get your heart rate up just a tiny little bit, so if you can breathe through your nose, that is ideal. But if you find you're breathing through your mouth to get in a little bit more oxygen, that's fine too. Couple more. Each time, trying to work through a slightly deeper range of motion that you can hold for a second longer. And as we go into our last three, we're going to hold those for a couple of seconds. Take a deep breath, really extend, and then coming down and reaching as far into that heel as possible. This will be our last one. Holding this for a couple of seconds. I'm actually even just doing some super gentle pulses here. So this is typically called ballistic stretching, and it's not really advisable, but this is super gentle, and it's some stuff that we can do as a light form of exercise just to sort of freshen you up in between long periods at the desk for work. Awesome, that is it. Now swapping sides, we're going to go into our right side. So left leg comes forward, I'm going to go for 15 again. So as we start off, nice and gentle, and as we get a little bit deeper into it, we're going to hold those stretches slightly for longer and a little bit more intense. I think that's 5. Let's go with 5. Fantastic work, team. Taking some deep breaths. Now we can start getting into these stretches a little bit more intense as your body starts to loosen up. Awesome work, team. Let's go for 3 more. These ones we can now hold for a couple of seconds. Pushing into our second last one. Really extending that chest through and driving into those hips, opening up that right side hip flexor. On that heel, reaching as far forward as you can, just holding for a couple of seconds. And to our last one, get them here for 10 seconds. Awesome work, team, doing good. Leaning back, last one. Awesome. Next we're going to do a couple of active down dogs. So in this position, we're going to put our weight on our hands and shift backwards and forwards. We're going to be in a sort of plank position with shifting backwards and forwards, open up the shoulders, the lats a little bit, and then as you sort of fluctuate between either side, as you sort of go between either side, you're going to stretch out your hamstrings and your calves. So in this position, I'm actually going to press up. First, I'll go on a slight angle so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm going to press up and shift my weight backwards and forwards, and then onto the left and onto the right. Again, we're going to go for 15 rotations. Let's go. Putting your weight onto the left side, onto that right side, really open up those calves, and both, and pushing back. Same thing, weight onto the left side, onto the right side, backwards and forwards. You can go for a few more. And as you start to loosen up, walk those hands closer towards your feet. And onto our last one. Shifting the weight to the left heel, onto that right heel, and you're going to hold that position for the last 10 seconds, pushing down. Fantastic work coming out of that. Awesome. We're going to get stuck in with a pigeon pose position. So again, we're going to be coming down and up in this position. This is going to target our IT band as well as our glutes. So starting off on our left side, going to be in a tall pigeon. Turn that so you guys can see what I'm doing. Coming down for a couple of seconds. And up for a couple of seconds. We're going to go for 10 of those. Also, I encourage you to shift your weight from side to side. So as you're up, shifting your weight from side to side. Coming down. This is letter number 4. And just stressing to you, I think that this is going to be a phenomenal little routine that you can do. If you are having to sit down for a long period of time, just dedicate that sort of 10-15 minutes as a break, drink some water, go through this, and I think you'll find you'll be significantly fresher to get back in with your work. Let's go for 2 more. Holding that position for a couple of seconds, so shifting away side to side, holding that for a moment. Let's be our last one. Pushing up, shifting your weight onto the right side, so towards where your foot is. Shifting your weight to the left and back down. Awesome. Now before we get to the other side, we're going to go into a cobra position. So pushing up, hitting that lower back, shifting weight to the left, shifting your weight to the right, I'm going to repeat that process twice more. So this is now our third little shift to the left, to the right. Last couple of seconds, pushing up as far as you can. Again, not hurting yourself, not putting too much stress in the lower back. Awesome, swapping into that right side pigeon. So again, it's going to be more of an unconventional dynamic pigeon. So we're going to come down, shifting weight to the right, shifting weight to the left, coming up and doing the same thing. Typically humans and our skeletal structure, we're not really designed to be sitting for long periods of time. We're actually designed with our long limbs and our big glutes to be standing or walking or going through long periods of high endurance. And I think that's the reason as to why when we find ourselves sitting for long periods of time, we're desperately unhappy. We start to gain weight, lose mobility, not function as well as we should. Some people get headaches because of the tightness in the upper traps from sitting down and typing and being in bad posture. So doing this sort of stuff, if you have to sit down for long periods of time in between long sessions, I believe is a great idea. Just over halfway for this right side dynamic pigeon. Coming down. As we go into our last couple, we're going to hold it for slightly longer. Final one coming up and shifting your weight onto the right. So really open up that glute for me. Onto the left. And coming down for our final hold. A couple of seconds. Awesome. Popping out of that. Now, our final pose is going to be a few squats. So in this position, we're going to squat down as low as we can, shift the weight to the right, shift the weight to the left, and then we are going to stand up. Okay, so not specifically air squats, it's more of a sort of hybrid between a Buddha prayer and an air squat. I'm going to turn onto the side so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to go for 15 of these, and this will be our final position. So legs a little bit more than your shoulder width. Dropping down to a nice position. I've got my elbows forcing my knees out. I'm just shifting left, shifting right twice. Bum comes up, bum comes down, and standing. Gonna go for a couple more of those. Awesome, I can just do it as we have done with the other ones. Shifting around to the whole range of motion, open up those joints. That's 2. If you find your heel comes off the ground a little bit so you can get into a sort of tighter position where you're mobilizing the ankles a bit more, that's fine as well. Fantastic work. Shifting weight left, shifting weight to the right, standing tall. As we get into our last couple of reps, hold those positions for a second longer. Bum comes up, bum comes down, standing. Gonna go for 2 more of those. I know by now the hips are starting to feel it a little bit, which is good news. Dropping down, last couple of reps, last 2 reps in actual fact. Shifting left, Shifting right, really feeling the hips, adductors and ankles opening up. Pump comes up and down. And we are getting stuck in with our last one. Let's go. Shifting to the left, shifting to the right. Once more. Bum comes up and down, all the way through. A couple of little pulses and stand. Fantastic work, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. As always, feel free to put any comments on the bottom of this video. If you'd like to see anything else that I've missed, please message me or put it up in this group. You can also find me on Instagram, Joshua Muser, and you can request some more videos there. Like I said, if you are in any particular position where you're finding out your lower back or whatever's getting sort of sore or tight and I'm not targeting those positions, please let me know. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.